Alright, so first shade I'm going to be taking, I'm going to go into this one. Alright everyone, so let's get started. Now for today's video, I don't know what to say. I received in the mail a wonderful bag full of rare beauty makeup. Am I dreaming? What's going on? I'm really excited because as you probably already know, like, oh, don't judge my finger, I cut myself. So. But like, as you probably already know, I love rare beauty. I've been using their products non-stop. I actually filmed a first impressions video when I first started my YouTube channel, but like ever since I bought a bunch of these items, I use them non-stop. For example, this is a brow pencil that's like completely empty. I also have my Rare Beauty concealer that's almost empty. I bought a highlight. I have the liquid blush. I also used to have a lipstick, which I lost because I just took it with me everywhere I went, so I don't know where that lipstick is anymore. Also, the foundation is becoming one of my favorites. But yeah, so today we are mainly going to be using a Rare Beauty makeup. I'm going to do a full face of Rare Beauty makeup, which is not hard because I already on a regular basis do a full face of Rare Beauty makeup. So I'm going to show you really quickly what's in here. So I'm first going to be swatching these products right here, and these are the matte lip creams. So swatching them, I do see a little bit of sheerness. I'm not really sure how this is going to apply on the lips. This brown shade is calling my name. This brown shade is everything I want in a lipstick. They don't really have a scent. I'm kind of like concerned about the sheerness of them. Next, to stay in the lip category, I'm going to be swatching the Dewy Lip Balms. The only thing is, when I put this in my purse, it opens super easily because this is magnetized. It's not a really strong magnet, so it does tend to open in my purse. These are super hydrating. They're really comfortable to wear. They're not the most long-lasting lipsticks you're ever going to try because they are more of a tinted balm. But if you want to use something on a regular basis to have a little bit of color, then these are really nice on the lips. Next, I'm also going to be swatching some of the highlights. I already know that I love these highlights. Like, these are really pretty. They're quite intense and they're also really buildable. And what is nice with these is that you can also use them on the body, and you can also use this on your eyes, like to just add a little bit of shine. And also these are liquid, but when you apply them on the face, it dries down, so it goes to like a matte finish. It doesn't stay tacky on the skin. Alright, so next I'm just going to swatch really quickly these brow pencil. I don't think you're really interested in these. We also have the liquid liner. Now I'm really excited because I don't really use liquid liners that often. This liquid liner seems quite nice, and these are the kind of tips that I do enjoy the most. This is a felt tip liner, and the tip is very fine, so you can achieve very nice thin lines. And then we also have the primer. I'm not going to swatch this because it's kind of pointless. I'm just going to give you my first impressions. And then I'm so excited because I never tried Rare Beauty eyeshadows before. And look at this. Oof, that's so pretty. These are neutral. I think on a regular basis, this is going to be quite nice, especially like this shade right here for the crease. And then you can always play with some of these shimmers for a pop of like dimension and texture. First thing I'm noticing is this shade right here. You can see that on camera. Do you see how shifty this one is? I was planning on using this one on the eyes, but this one is so interesting. I don't really like to judge eyeshadows on swatches because swatches can be very misleading. Those are the swatches. Let's jump into the makeup now. I'm so excited to do a full face of Rare Beauty. Oh my god. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm not really sure if Rare Beauty has a moisturizer. I wish they had. So I'm going to be using my Sensitive Chamomile Cream from Yves Rocher just to prep my skin. Alright, so now that my skin is moisturized, I'm going to take you in a little bit closer and we're going to start working on the eyes. So first thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be priming my lids. Usually I would go ahead and use my MAC Pro Longwear paint pot, but For today's video, we are going to be trying the Rare Beauty Eye Primer. I think this is the same kind of texture as the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Like, it has that really weird, very fluffy texture. So I'm just going to place that really quickly on my lids. And with my finger, I'm just going to pat it out. Okay, so I do appreciate that this has a little bit of a tint. So far, I am enjoying this. This is very, very lightweight. I'm also just going to put a little bit on my under eye because I am planning to maybe do some shadow on my lower lashes. Alright, so we're going to start by going into this palette right here. Look at how pretty this is. Alright, so first shade I'm going to be taking, I'm going to go into this one. And this I'm mainly going to put right here in my inner corners. I'm taking that with a JH40 brush, which is a really small blender brush. And I'm just going to really lightly blend this in my inner corners. I'm not going to apply too much color in the center of my crease, but I'm just going to, I think I want to bring that also in my outer corner. But I think I want to keep that quite low and also very rounded. And I'm also mainly focusing this shade on the outer corner. So I'm not taking too much in the center of my crease. And so far these are blending quite nicely. They do have some payoff. And also the primer is doing a really nice job so far. I'm also going to take a fluffy brush with nothing on it and I'm just going to go over the edges a little bit. And I do want this outer corner, like this rounded shape, to be quite harsh. I really don't know where I'm going with this look, but I'm kind of like really liking this tone. I think I want to try and do some layering. So I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is a deeper brown shade. And I'm going to be grabbing that with a smaller brush. And with that, I'm mainly going to pack this in the very, very center of what we just created. Okay, so now I'm very impressed so far because these are also layering quite nicely. And then I'm just going to go back in with that fluffy brush and blend my inner corners, but I'm keeping this part quite harsh. So far, so good. Next, I really want to use this shade right here. Look at how shifty this is. I'm going to grab that shade with my finger, and I think I'm going to place that right in the center of my lid. Oh, that's intense. So in the end, I just applied that all over my lid. I think I'm going to grab some of that shimmer shade on my brush. So I'm just tapping a little bit of that shade on top, just because I felt like there was too much of a contrast between the shimmer shade and the matte shade. So I kind of want to bring some of that texture on top of the matte shade. And then I'm going to go back in with that purple shade and I'm just going to intensify some of these shapes. That's a really interesting makeup look. And I'm also packing some of that shimmer in my crease, but in the very center where we didn't apply too much of the matte shadow. Now I think I'm going to do something very, very, very risky. I might hate this, but I want to do a droopy eye effect. So I think I'm going to take the liquid liner and I'm going to do a very rounded inner corner. So far this liquid liner is quite nice. It does transfer really, really easily and the tip is very fine, so you can achieve very small lines. This liner went a little bit overboard, so I'm going to be taking a Q-tip with some micellar water. I'm using the NYX micellar water. I'm going to remove the excess on the back of my hand and I'm just going to clean up this line just a little bit. And I think I'm really not sure how I feel about this inner corners right now. But I think I need to go all the way. So I'm also going to do the same on my outer corner. I don't like that. I'm going to bring it upwards. It was looking a little bit too weird. Alright, so I definitely did not like what I did on my outer corners, so I just removed it. So I think what I'm going to do one last try of something just to make this look come together, because I feel like right now it's looking really weird and I feel like all the intensity is in the inner corners, but I kind of need to balance things out on my outer. But I'm going to grab some more of that purple shade. I'm just going to place that on my lower lash line on the outer corner, and I'm going to be winging this out. And I'm even going to be using a beveled brush with that purple shade, and I'm really going to pack this shade on. And with a very small flat brush, I'm going to be taking some more of the shimmer shade, and I'm going to intensify that shade on the negative space right on top of the wing liner. So because my camera was overheating, I went ahead and did my other eye off camera. I'm not sure how I feel about this makeup look. This looks really messy. What the heck am I doing? So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to grab some more of that purple shade, and I'm going to bring that underneath our new inner corners. Alright, so now, because I'm not really sure about this eye makeup look, this is so freaking weird. I think I'm just going to apply some mascara just so that I'm sure this comes together. So I'm going to be using my Yves Rocher Intense Métamorphose mascara. I'm going to do a very generous coat of this. Okay, so mascara can solve anything. I think I'm also going to take a white kohl liner. This is the Yves Rocher kohl liner in the shade 7. And I'm going to place that in my waterline. Alright, so here we go. This makeup look is it's still really weird, but I think with the mascara and the liner in the waterline, it looks a little bit more put together. So I hope with the complexion makeup, it's going to look even more put together. But anyways, so far, pretty dang good. I'm going to give you my final opinion at the end of the video, but like so far these shadows, they look really nice, they blend really well, and especially this shimmer. The shimmer is crazy. So I'm just going to work on my complexion now. So first thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be priming my skin, and as a primer, well, these two primers are amazing. They're really nice. So I do have the illuminating primer, and I also have the Pure diffusing one, and I've been loving the Pure diffusing primer. It's really nice. It does give a really nice blurred effect to the skin, but it's still hydrating. Like, this is magic. So I'm just going to do like one pump of that, and I'm mainly going to be placing that in the center of my face, where I do tend to have a lot of skin texture for my foundation, of course. So I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty Lightweight Foundation in the shade 140C. And I'm just going to place a little bit of that everywhere. You really do not need a lot with this. And of course, I'm also going to be using the Rare Beauty Foundation brush. So I'm just going to tap that all over my face. If you want a very lightweight, natural foundation that still leaves some of the skin texture to come through, you're probably going to like this foundation. Usually I'm not the kind of person to use foundation on a regular basis, but because this foundation is so lightweight, I don't know why, but I've been using it like crazy. As you can see, you can still see some of the redness, but I do really like that because it looks natural, like it looks like skin. Next, I'm also going to be using the Rare Beauty Concealer. This is also in the shade 140C, and I'm going to place that on my high points of the face, and also where I do tend to have some redness. I do really love the concealer brush, but the foundation brush is faster to use. So I'm just going to pack that into my skin. And the concealer, it has a really nice amount of coverage, but it still looks like skin, it still looks natural. Alright, and now for my blush, of course I'm going to be using this. This blush is really nice. It's the liquid blush in the shade Joy. It's very pigmented. You do not need a lot of this. So I'm just going to place some of that on the back of my hand, and to apply it, I'm going to be using my duo fiber brush. This is a Yves Rocher brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that product. I'm going to remove most of it on my wrist, and I'm just going to start and do very small tapping motions on the very high points of my cheeks. I'm just going to tap over that with my finger just to make sure everything is blended and not as intense. But this is such a blendable and buildable blush. And it also does not disturb the product you already have on the face, so your foundation and concealer, which is really nice. I don't think Rare Beauty, they have bronzers. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my Milk setting powder. This is the translucent powder. I'm going to grab some of that with a very fluffy brush, and I'm just very lightly going to set the perimeter of my face, just because I'm going to be using a powder bronzer. And I'm also going to take just a little bit of that powder on my under eye. Damn it, I forgot we had to use the liquid highlights. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to apply my bronzer, and then I think I'm going to try to apply this on top. God damn it. For my bronzer, I'm going to be using my House Laboratories bronzer and highlight duo, and I'm going to take the shade Savannah. I'm just going to take some of that and put that on the perimeter of my face. So my temples, my cheeks, my neck. Alright, and now we're going to try to apply the highlight on the face. Today I think I really want to try this one right here. This is the shade Enlighten, which is a very icy shade. So I'm going to pop some of that on the back of my hand. And then with a very small but compact brush, I'm just going to grab that highlight, and in very small tapping motions, I'm just going to place that on the very high points of my cheeks. Oh, that's intense. Like, even on top of that powder, this highlight applied beautifully. Like, these highlights are gorgeous. I think I found a new favorite highlight. This is gorgeous. And this formula is just amazing. It's so good. Like, even on top of that powder, it just applied beautifully. And it's not even removing the makeup I have underneath. Alright, I'm just going to fill in my brows really quickly. I think I'm going to fill my brows in using the Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Pencil in the shade Cool Brown. The only thing is with these pencils is that you don't have a spoolie, so you kind of have to use another brow pencil with a spoolie to like brush your hairs up. Whew, that's very, very, very dark. I need to be very light-handed with this. This is a little bit... Oh, that's really dark. God damn it. But this is a little bit more waxy than I remembered. I'm just going to take my spoolie and just try to blend this in. This looks like a mess. Oh no. I think I'm going to try and remove as much as I can. So I'm just going to use my Yves Rocher brow pencil in the shade Blonde. Just going to try and go on top. Okay, I think today I'm going to have very dark brows. That's what it is. Alright, so this brow pencil is definitely way too dark for me. But, you know, let's just go all in and use the brow gel as well. So I'm just going to fluff my brows up using this. Oh my god, my brows are so intense. It's really funny because the brow gel is actually like perfect for me. Like on these pencils, I don't know why, but the brow gels are lighter than the brow pencil. Okay, I need to just get over these brows. I cannot do anything better. Like this... Look at that. What the heck is that? Oh my god. One thing I want to do before like doing my lip color, I really want to try this lipstick on its own because it's such an interesting shade. I kind of really want to see how this looks. These feel really comfortable. This is definitely not my shade. This actually has a lot of payoff. Like when I first swatched it, it felt really sheer. And I'm also going to line my lips. I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Endless Cacao. Alright, and I'm going to be using the shade Fearless. This is the kind of shade I love. Ooh, this shade is everything I look for. Beautiful, comfortable, and brown. Everything I want. Alright everyone, so I think that's pretty much it for today's makeup look. I'm going to sum everything up really quickly. You already know my opinion on these products. Starting with the eyeshadow palette, I'm kind of like shook by the eyeshadow palette, but I definitely really enjoyed using these shadows, and especially with the swatches. Like when I first swatched, especially the matte shades, They felt a little bit dry, but on the eyes, they definitely do have some payoff, especially the shimmers. The shimmers, they're gorgeous, beautiful. This shimmer shade is so shifty and so rich. I'm really happy. Next, let's talk about the brow pencils. Well, the brow pencils I already really like. The formula is a little bit more waxy than what I remembered, but like if you get the right shade, it works. They're really pretty. I do really like them. The only thing is that's kind of really weird is that the pencil is darker than the brow gel. For example, with this brow pencil in the shade Cool Brown, the brow gel is my shade, but the pencil is way too dark. Next, the highlights. No words. The highlights are really pretty. They're really shifty. You can use them on the face, you can use them on the body, you can do anything you want with these. And when they dry, they don't stay tacky, they dry down matte. Well, not matte, but they like dry down so they don't stay oily on the face. The lipsticks, I did not use them today, but I already know that I really love them. If you're looking for something very lightweight, very hydrating, with a little bit of color, you're going to love these. They're really comfortable. And like, the more I'm wearing this lipstick right now, the more I love the texture. The texture is freaking comfortable. And last but not least, we have the eyeliner. I'm quite surprised with the eyeliner. Like, it's really comfortable. It's not like drying, and it's really rich. It doesn't bleed. Like, I applied this in my inner corners. Like, anything you put in the inner corners, it's going to bleed. But like, so far everything is staying in place, so I'm impressed. I almost forgot to talk about this. I think I'm going to use this very often. I really want to put this to the test. This is the eye primer. It did not dry my eyes out. I used to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and that primer used to dry my lids out like crazy. But like, this is so lightweight, and it did allow makeup to really apply smoothly and pigmented. So I think I'm going to use this more often, and I'm going to test this out because so far, so good. That's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. You can also subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every single Mondays, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of the Makeup Mondays. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.